Morning. You find me in Glen Feshie today, and I'm going to do, I can never say them, I'm going to do 4 munros. It's quite a big route, so I've got my big backpack with me and I'm going to be camping. I'm going to head to 2 that are quite close to like the Devil's Point, to the 2 that are west of that first. Then I'm going to try and camp on, is it Sgor Gaoith, I think, and then pick up another one tomorrow morning, the one that's south of it. So the weather's beautiful. I've got the shorts on. I've got leggings with me just in case it gets cold. It was quite cold in the car last night, and I've got all my warm camping gear. I'm just heading down the road. You can kind of see the way ahead. I think you head up there. But it's looking beautiful, looking nice, and I'm looking forward to a good adventure. So I'll bring you back up when I start making some ascent. I've just passed through the gate after turning off the road, and it looks like I'm heading through a bit of the forest, which will be lovely. Nice bit of shade. Yeah, and it'll be nice again tomorrow when I come out. Yeah, looks like there's good paths all the way. It doesn't look like it's one of those pathless munros, not yet anyway. Don't know what it's like up top, but there is a good track from what I've seen from satellite images. So this should be a good one for anybody who's not done many munros. Right, I'll pick you back up a bit further along. Really enjoying walking through the Scots pine forest. Very peaceful and calm, and I love seeing the old native trees. I don't know if this has been replanted or not, but it's nice. Yeah, just making some ascent. As you can probably tell by the shortness of my breath, this big heavy pack doesn't help, but it should make for some nice sunset views tonight. So I'm about 650 meters of elevation, I think, and that's the way I've come through that forest down there. Like I said before, it's a good path. Let's keep moving. Some of the midge are picking up. It's not much breeze. Hoping there's more of a breeze up top. I'll clear them, but they're not bad. But I can see the way ahead, and it heads up that way. I'm just taking my time since I've got the big pack and taking it steady. But a glorious day. That's me up on the plateau proper, and you can finally see there's a cairn that if you head north you get to Sgor Gaoith. I think that's how you say it. So that's it there. Head that way for that munro, but I'm gonna try and camp on that tonight. So I'm heading off in this direction to pick up 2 munros further away. So I've got a fair bit of walking left to do, but the plan is just to keep going and make as much miles as I can. The plan is to camp up there, but if I can't, it doesn't matter, I'll just camp wherever is best. So I best check them out, see which direction to go, because there are now 4 paths. This one, that one, and that one. It's definitely not that one. So I'll figure out where I'm going and I'll bring you back when I'm further along. I'm getting some lovely views. I think that's kind of Creech over there. This is the direction I'm going. It's a lovely path compared to my last outing on the Brothers and Sisters of Kintail, where it was fairly rocky for the majority of it, especially on the Sisters. This is really nice. You can get some good speed going up here, so hopefully things won't take too long, but I know the distances are quite long, so we'll just see how it goes. Enjoying the weather still. There's a nice little breeze keeping me cool. Right, I'm past both of the paths to go to the Sgor Gaoith and the second munro that you could take in. And I've hit a good stride, and I've got down to this point here. There's a little bit of a nice stream that heads down, but I'm heading up there, kind of right in the centre of the stream. I'm just picking up this little path here and then heading up, and there's the 2 munros at the back of there. So I'm trying to make as good time as I can. The wind is definitely helping. It's not as hot and as sweaty as I was before. Oh, let's be careful here. So hopefully I can make some good time, pick up these 2 munros, maybe have a bit of lunch, and then head over. And I might be able to pick up all the munros today, depending on time. But look at this, look how clear the water is. Lovely. I'll have to remember this for when I need to fill up with water. I'll be heading back this way, but I imagine I'll be drinking quite a bit as I head over. Right, I'll pick you back up when I'm further along, and maybe nearing the summit of the first munro for the day, and get more. So I'm heading up the first munro. I'm about to drop down to the last bit before the ascent up. There's like a little stream. You can see it down there, and then I start heading up. There's someone there, and there's someone just up there. I think I'm going to head that direction as best I can. There does seem to be a path there, but then I think I'm going to have to cross back over again. So I think I'm just going to follow what that guy's doing there and head up that way. I think that'll be the most straightforward route. It's a bit bouldery up there, but I think once you're up, I think it'll be better than going over there to then cross again. That's my feelings anyway. So I'll bring you back when I'm probably in that boulder field and cursing my decision, but I think that's where I'm going to head. I'm really not far from the first munro, Munro, something like that. What a pool. I didn't think it was going to be this bad, but getting some lovely views. I'm sure that's Cairngorms, something like that. Nice view of Sgor Gaoith. Some patches of snow over there. Yeah, not far to go. I think it's just at the top of this. Finally see the summit cairn from Munro. What a trek. Whew. I'm going to stop, I'm going to eat. I'm considering whether to dump my bag to go back the second one. I think it's just appeared in the distance there, because I can go out and come back. I think that might be the better thing to do. I always hate this. This looks like the summit cairn. It's what it says on the map. Not about. But then that peak over there looks higher. It probably isn't, but there we go. Munro 160. Whew. Right, I'm going to stop and have a break, double check the map, make sure I'm actually on the summit, and then figure out what I'm doing. I might dump my bag just before the descent, and then I can nip up, nip back, and then head back over, because this looks fairly flat. But yeah, I definitely want to stop and have a break and have something to eat. So I think that one there is the Devil's Point. There's Cairn Tool, Sgor Gaoith. I think Cairngorms is tucked in behind there, and then that's the next Munro on the list. I'll have to double check the map, but that's the segment I'm going to go through. I'm going to dump my bag just over there before dropping down and heading up, and then coming back for the bag. I'll take my bag over there. Anyway, I'm going to crack on. It's a bit windy, but I'm going to keep moving. I'm at the Bealach between the 2 munros. As you can see, no backpack. I've dropped it up there and hidden it behind a big rock. So here's hoping I can find that rock again. I thought I would just take this thing out of this steep pull up again, because I'm just going out and back, so I should save a bit of time and energy. So I've got a bottle of water and a hiking pole, and yeah, just going to make my way over. But it's definitely the Devil's Point cane tool, and Ben McDewey's in the background there as well, or at least the beginnings of it. But some stunning rock formations and quarries here. It's gorgeous. Yeah, let's carry on, try and get summit this and then get back to the bag and head back over the way I've come. A lot of this is going back and forward and like heading out to head back, which I don't always like. I prefer a loop if I can, but they're not always possible. So heading up this Munro. It's got a big boulder field, but there's lots of these little cairns that mark the most direct route. I imagine in the snow they're pretty helpful as well. There's a little one just here. There's another one just in the distance. And I don't think I'm too far away. It's tired though. Whew, these boulders are a pain. You can't get any stride. Constantly watching your feet, making sure that you're getting a decent spot and not a wobbly stone. So there we go. Summit cairn, shelter, trig point, a few different things up here. But that's the summit of Ben Brotain. Hopefully I pronounced that right. I think it's 1,153, I think. 57, one of the two. I'll double check. But yeah, that's me at the summit. I've got to be honest, I'm pretty glad this is the furthest away point in this round of 4 that I'm doing. So I'm glad to touch this trig point. There's the big shelter. There we go. Quite like these circular trigs. Nice looking. There we go. Munro 100 and Munro 161. Oh, gosh. Tired. That was a good go. And the right idea to drop the bag. You're going to go back the same way. If you do the route this way, you're going to go back the same way, so you might as well drop the bag, lighten the load. Nobody's nicking it. It's too heavy to nick as well. Too much camping gear. One of the things I'm looking forward to doing on this trip is I've got a new camping mat, Thermarest and Neo Loft. The last one I had the Neo Air X-Therm, and it was quite thin and it was a mummy shaped, and because I'm quite broad, my shoulders, if I moved, my shoulders were off the mat, so I've went for a bigger, wider mat, so hopefully I can move around, be a bit more comfortable, a bit thicker. And so thanks to the wife and kids for that for my birthday. Nice 40th birthday present. Right, I'm going to take a bit of water, take some photos and then head off. That's me, picked my bag up from the descent off that and back up. So it's just a walk over to the first Munro I did. One or more, something like Monmouth Moor. And then back down that, I'm going to refill my water at that little river stream and then head over to Sgor Gaoith, something like that. Not very good at pronouncing them. I just met a couple of girls that had followed me on Instagram and recognised me, so that was very nice. Definitely don't feel famous, but nice to be recognised. So hope your hike went well, and thanks for not stealing any of my food like you said you did. Yeah, so just gonna crack on. I think I'm coming up to about 10 miles that I've done now. It's quite hot. 9.77 miles, 4.5 hours. So yeah, it's quite warm. but I'm going to carry on and try and get over the next Munro and back down to that water source. Approaching the first Munro of the day, Monmouth Moor, and then it'll just be dropping down, collecting water and then heading off. Definitely enjoy the Cairngorms for these long plateaus that you get. You get boulder fields now and again on the summits, but generally you get these lovely sweeping plateaus when you're up there. It's nice, makes for quicker walking. Just the distances can be quite long between Munros sometimes, and to get in, but definitely worth it. And glorious weather we're having. Feeling really lucky. It's 2 trips now, one in April and this one in May. Both have been really good, so just not taking it for granted though, because I know things can change, but hopefully we continue to have a nice summer and get more days like this. Right. I've made the decision to head off south to pick up Mula Clacha Vlair, something like that. It has a good track pretty much the whole way to the summit, and then you can cut across just a little bit further up to head up to I can't remember the name of it, that's how tired I am. Sgor Gaoith or something like that, where I'm going to camp. So I'm feeling good. It's 3:30. I'm making good time, much better time now. I'm on a path, so I figured just to keep going. We've got a lot of daylight today, and if I can get all 4 Munros done and then camp and not have to do the walk down, it chops a bit of miles off, and also means I can head home a bit earlier tomorrow, which is a bonus. So I'm just going to march on. I'll bring you back a little bit further along and show you some of the more rolling green hills. It's definitely not the same as Kintail where it was before. There's a lot of pointy peaks. It's definitely a lot more rolling green with spattered slate grey, which has its advantages because it makes things a little faster for making time, and you're not climbing over huge rocks and boulders all the time. So anyway, I'm going to march on, and I'm going to try and get to the summit of this 3rd Munro for me today, and a Munro 162, and then get over to Sgor Gaoith. I'm probably butchering that every time I say it, and probably saying it differently every time I say it too. But get over there, summit camp, and finally rest for the evening. I didn't film much, I just battered the miles out. But there's the summit of Mula Clacha Vlair, something like that. Woo! Munro number 3 today, and 162 in total. I am puddled. I'm looking forward to a bit of food, some water, and I'll sit down for 10-15 minutes before I crack on to the final Munro and hopefully my summit camp. I'll take you to the summit earlier. Lovely views. Nice views, landscape views. But that's the baby, lying dead centre. That's the Munro I want to camp on tonight, so still have a fair distance to go. It's just about 4:30. I reckon a couple hours and I'll be there. A bit later than I'd wanted to set up camp, but hey, what can you do? Tough, that was a tough one. I'm off the summit now, heading down and off to the final Munro. Now, I think it's just after, maybe about 5 o'clock or just after 5. And I reckon, it says in total I've got about 4 hours and 4 hours and 15 minutes left of the hike. That's to get back to the car, which I'm not going to do because I want to wild camp. So I've been looking at the map and I think the distance is about half the distance, so maybe we've got a couple hours of hiking to get over to the final Munro, which fills me with a little bit of dread, but also it's the last Munro, so once I'm done I can relax a little. And nothing but grass, a little bit of cliffs there. That tiny wee peak is where I'm heading. I've just noticed a bypass path around all of this, and I kind of noticed it when I was heading in. I noticed another path, but I didn't know where it came out, and now I see where it comes out. So I'm going to try and pick that up, because I think that would save me some time heading all the way, because I think I have to head all the way over there to then go back. But I think if I can just go there, it should speed things up. Hence why I think the bypass path has been cut in. So let's see if I can figure this one out. Head over there to save some time and save my legs. This bypass path has certainly afforded some nicer views. Look at that quarry. It's stunning. I wouldn't have seen that if I was on that 4x4 track. Amazing. Just continue to follow it and hopefully it brings us out where I think it does. It's certainly heading that way anyway on the map, so it should be fine. But again, lucky I followed it. Look at that. Stunning. I am about to make a little ascent up this bump here, and then I'll walk along the flat of that, and then that takes us to the path that heads up the final Munro. And thankfully it's not too far. I mean, it's not a 5-minute walk, but it's not too far. The bulk of this hike here from the last Munro is to get to this like crossroads part. So once I get there, yeah, it's just the last ascent. I am properly tired. I just checked and I've done 18.45 miles so far, which is a long way. So I reckon by the time I get to the top, it's probably going to be past 20 miles, or close to it anyway. I cannot tell you how happy I am to see these crossroads, or these cross paths or whatever. Oh, there they are. And then that's the path up to the fourth and final Munro, Sgor Gaoith. Woo. Right, let's keep pushing on, see if we can get there before my legs give in and I just sit down wherever I'm at. Ooh, I think it's nearly 19.5 miles now. This is a welcome sight. There's the summit. I don't know how far away it looks on the GoPro, but it looks so close in real life. I feel like I'm just 20 minutes away, maybe longer, because I keep needing to stop and breathe. But yeah, it's not far. I'm just going to try and keep an eye out for a place to pitch the tent. I don't even mind, it's probably not going to be on the summit, like right on the summit, because it's quite pointy. So we'll just see where we can find. But this wind is quite strong. I have to be careful when I'm setting my tent up. Make sure I pin down one end first. Right, I'll bring you back when I'm on the summit, or near the summit anyway. I've not hit the summit yet, but it is just there. I wanted to show you this. Look at that. It's a lot in shadow just now, but it's so impressive. Hopefully tomorrow it'll be out of shadow when the sun rises. Yeah, I'm not far now. No cairn. One rock. Wow. I've checked, that's not higher. Look at that. That's insane. Impressive. Nice spot to eat. I'm going to sit for a bit and take a breather. I think I've deserved it. So I've got my tent set up just off the summit, maybe like a couple minute walk, and it's the flattest piece of ground I could get close by. There was some bits over there, but the wind was howling over. This is nice, this is relatively flat. You're never going to get a proper flat bit. I wanted to show you my new toy. So it's the Thermarest Neo Loft, and it is a fat mat. Oh, sorry, but it isn't that much bigger. It's a little bit bigger, but not a huge amount. It's like like a Nalgene bottle width, and just a little bit taller when rolled up than a normal Neo Air XM that I've got. I'm hoping that it should give a nice bit of comfort. It's rectangular shape. Takes a bit longer to blow up, obviously. And I've got my flex tail pillow and my Sea to Summit Spark 2. Nice and cozy in here now because it's taking up a bit more space, but I don't mind that at all. So I'm going to get my boots off and I'm going to lie down for a little bit. I think I need a bit of a rest, a bit knackered. Good morning. I don't know if it's a good, well, it's a good morning, but it wasn't a good sleep. It was so windy last night. It wasn't forecast to be that windy, but it was absolutely mad. I had to get up at 2 o'clock in the morning because the tent almost collapsed in itself, and the tent pegs had been like ripped out. Well, some of them had been. So I'm running around outside re-pegging the tent. But it seems to have held fine, and it seems to have calmed down this morning. So I'm just in the process of, the fun process of just packing everything up, putting everything back in its bags, making sure I've got all my rubbish. And then I'm going to go, before I pull the tent down, I'm going to go back up to the summit, and I'm going to fly the drone a little bit, because it's looking pretty nice outside. And a low-lying cloud. standing on the summit of Sgor Gaoith. I did a little drone flying. It's not 8 o'clock in the morning yet. I just thought I would share some of these views before I go. I'm sure you'll see them on the drone footage, but I thought film a little bit more. It's a lovely morning, a little bit windy, but not as windy as last night, so I'm just enjoying the last views before heading down and packing up the tent. It's a stunning viewpoint if it's clear. Like all the Cairngorms, it's very exposed, so you don't want to get caught up here in bad weather, but yeah, the drop-offs are big as well. We go. That way to head to the Munros that I did first yesterday. That way, if you want to take there's like a 4x4 track that heads off that way. If you take this route, you get some stunning views of a quarry. But just beware, just over the top of this hill, it is boggy as anything. It's a bit wet and horrible, but just for a little bit, so worth it. And this way, the way I'm going, is the way back to the car. I really love walking through these Scots pine forests. There's something really like calming about it. Seen lots of different types of trees as well, like birch and other things, and some I can't remember. But it's really nice, especially at the end of a hike. I always find this, if there's a hike and it starts in like a Scots pine forest or any type of forest, it's just find it relaxing. I like the shade. Yeah, just not too far away. Once I'm out of here, it's just a short little walk up the road and I'm at the car. I'll bring you back when I'm at the car and give you my thoughts and rating on these 4 Munros and the wild camp. Just conserve a bit of energy to get myself down. I can see the cars now, so instead of doing it in the car park, I'll do it just as I walk down. I've really enjoyed these Munros. Tough distances, not too, not a lot of steep ascent all the time, but still enough when it counts, especially when you're carrying a heavy bag. The first 2 that I did, fairly nice looking, not massive, not huge shapely mountains, but still nice. The third one was a bit dull, and it was a bit of a slog over there, but the way back there was some nice quarries, and then obviously Sgor Gaoith was really nice. Stunning cliffs, and the views down to the loch were amazing, and then the wild camp was good. It was just a bit windy, it just kept us up for a long time. I dozed in and out, but had to get up and fix tent pegs and all that fun stuff. But I would say a good 7 out of 10. I enjoyed that. I don't think I'll do the 4 together again. I think I'll shorten my days. I think that's another thing I've realised when I've bagged them all. I'm going to do days where I just shorten it, do a bit less. I seem to have this need to bag as much as I can and push myself, but maybe once I've done them all I'll reduce that. But thanks for watching, if you've stayed this long, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye bye.